Okay, hello out there in ATS fandom land. My name is Justice Fist, and today I'm bringing you another American truck video. This is another truck mod video. This is the MACK Ultraliner. This is by Cyrus the Virus and various other people, but Cyrus the Virus is sort of the main name there as the author. Now, I love this truck. This is cool, man. Look at this. This is classic American cab over. Went with the deep red. I love the Bulldog emblem on the door. I went with black rims, chrome highlights. It just looks mean. I love the big straight pipes out the back too. That is awesome. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's get this guy fired up. Our load. Our load is 43 tons. 43 tons. Nice heavy load. It's going to Flagstaff. This is going to be a short one, and this load, of course, is part of the heavy haul DLC. I love hauling these big loads. They're just they're a lot of fun. They're challenging, and that's what it's all about, really. So as we get going here, what to say about this truck? I mean, well, let's start from the beginning here, okay? First of all, as usual, I'm playing with a PS4 controller. And I'm running that through Steam. If you're not sure how to do that, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of videos on YouTube about how to do that. So definitely look it up. It's real easy to do. I used to use a PS3 controller. I've switched to a PS4 controller. It's just easier. And I'm using Track IR to pan my view. Yeah, that's why it seems so almost VR-like. I love my Track IR, man. Gotta have it. It's great for these types of games. Now, the truck itself, how I'm running it. I mean, you've got, I would say, as far as truck mods go, you've got a sort of mediocre amount of options for this. I mean, I'm running a 6x4 chassis. You don't have much options there. You don't have any options really for the cab. Pretty standard stuff. Now, engines. You got lots of engines for this. Well, lots. I mean, what you would expect with sort of a vanilla truck, right? Now I'm running the V8 chip at 720 horsepower, keeping in mind, of course, considering what I'm hauling, I've got this set up for heavy haul. So, you know, I'm running the V8 chip, and I'm running an Eaton Fuller, an 18-speed transmission with a retarder. You have lots of options for transmissions as well, but nothing that I really noticed that's really outside of what you would find with vanilla vehicles in ATS. But that's okay. At least you have all those options, right? Some truck mods come with almost nothing, right? As far as customization options go. So this one's, you know, it's pretty good. Now, this is the 134X version, and why I'm saying that is because they've made a major, well, for me it's a major improvement. It's actually hardly anything. And it's that onboard computer there that you're seeing at the bottom right of the screen that's showing me what gear I'm in, what my my cruise control is set at. And previous versions of this truck did not have that. And so I've played this truck before, and I opted not to put it on my channel because I play with, again, a PS4 controller, so like a gamepad, right? So when you're running like an 18-speed transmission, you know it's very difficult to keep track of what gear you're in, especially in traffic and stuff like that. And without an onboard computer like that, it's kind of, well, it's clunky to drive. And for me, if I'm going to bring a truck mod to my channel, it has to be a mod that I can play with and enjoy playing for hours, you know. And without that computer, this truck was just very difficult to drive. Now that would be, I'm sure, a very different case if you're using a wheel and a shifter, because, you know, you put your hand on the shifter, you kind of, judging by the position of the shifter, you know what gear you're in, right? But for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you, that if you play with a gamepad, you know what I'm talking about. Without a computer telling you what gear you're in, and that, it can be just a giant pain in the butt. So, so with that improvement, I decided to bring this mod to my channel. Especially because it is, otherwise it's pretty well done. It's pretty well done. The things I like about it, it's a classic American cab over, right? And it's you've got enough customization options to make it fun to play around with, and it overall it looks good inside outside, it looks really good. It's got this classic, you know, fake wood trim in here, and you know, it's got this really boxy look to it, like a real early 80s semi-truck, American semi-truck. I like it. There's a few things I don't like about it, but nothing that's game-breaking. Like I said, I've played with this truck for hours and hours, and I love it now that the computer's there. I love it. First thing I'm gonna say is that, oh, I was just driving in the rain to get to my load, and the wipers, well, they work. They swish back and forth. They don't actually wipe anything. So that's kind of annoying. It's kind of annoying. But thankfully, we're in the desert here, so it's not a big deal. Although it was, like I said, it was raining when I went to pick up this load before I hit the record button. So, you know, it's not like it never rains in the desert, I guess. But yeah, so the wipers don't actually wipe anything. They move, but they don't wipe anything. Also, another thing you're going to notice is that when you turn the lights on and off, I'm not going to show you. Look for yourself. But when you click them on and off, your dials, your tachometer, and your speedometer, I think the rest of the dials too, they flick on and off. It's like they disappear for like a quarter of a second, you know, and then flick back on. It's really strange. But again, doesn't affect driving. I mean, it's you know, it's not a big deal. Also, you've got this big white clock in the middle of your dash there, which is kind of and you know what, I like to know what time of day it is that I'm driving, and whoa, but yeah, just jam the brakes on the highway. Yeah, do that. Like sakes. Anyway, yeah, the clock doesn't work. It always reads the same time, which is kind of funny. I've seen other truck mods that have clocks and they work. I don't know, maybe because it's not a digital clock, it can't be synced with the game. I don't know. I don't know much about modding. You know, I'm not a programmer. I don't know. But yeah, the clock doesn't work. So why it's even there? I mean, I guess that's because the actual MACK Ultraliner has one like that. I guess obviously, it would be nice if it worked though. But it's not. Again, really not a big deal. Doesn't take away from enjoying playing with this truck whatsoever. Not for me anyway. Another problem. This is the last one. This is the last one, and this one's the big one. The rear view mirror on the right hand side is sticky, and again, I've seen this in many truck mods. It's a common problem. I don't know why it is that it hasn't been fixed in this one, especially because this mod's been around for a long time. They just keep updating it to fit with the new updates that come out. But yeah, the mirror is sticky, so sometimes you'll look over and what you're seeing in the mirror isn't actually what's there. But it tends to correct itself pretty quickly. But it's very distracting, and it can almost be game breaking sometimes when you're trying to park your trailer. You know, you're looking in the mirror and it's just not showing what's there. But like I said, it corrects itself within a second or two. But it takes away from the immersiveness a little bit, for sure. And for me, you know, sim gaming like this it's all about the immersiveness, right? So it's a little irritating, but it's again not a big deal. Like I said, I've played with this truck for hours, man, and had a lot of fun with it. So it's whatever. It's fun. It's fun. And like I said, outside the truck, it is beautiful. I love it. I love this classic American cab over, man. Like I said, I went with like some classic coloring and tried to keep with the sort of MACK Bulldog bad boy look to it, right? Yeah, I do love the look of it. So anyway, as I did in my last review when we took a look at the Kenworth K100, I thought I'd talk a little bit about MACK itself. I tried to find some info on the Ultraliner, but I didn't dig too deep. I don't have a lot of time. So we'll sort of scrap just talking about the truck specifically, the real truck in real life. But MACK itself, I think, I just Wikipedia'd it just for fun, just to see. And they have a very detailed sort of historical timeline that I'm not going to get into because there's just way too much detail in that. But what I found interesting, though, about MACK is that they were very much involved with supplying vehicles during the First and Second World War, right? And the Mack, and this is what's important about this, is that the Mack Bulldog actually comes, their corporate logo, the Bulldog that you saw on the door there, actually comes from from the First World War, sorry. Where okay, well let me just read this to you, right? So in World War One, Mack delivers 6,000 trucks to both, sort of split between the U.S. and Britain, right? So they're using these trucks to haul supplies and stuff. Keeping in mind that the First World War, they're still hauling artillery with horses and stuff like this, right? So, but Mack is there. Mack is there. They're doing their part, man. And this is where the Bulldog emblem, the significance of this comes into play, where the British soldiers would call for their Mack Bulldogs when the shit hit the fan, basically, right? Because they would bring up supplies to the front line, and it sort of got, the British gave it sort of the Bulldog nickname, right? Because of sort of the look of it, like it had that sort of blunt-nosed, kind of weird look to it, and it had, it was durable, like reliable, just an amazing truck, and it really reminded the British soldiers of their country's mascot, the British Bulldog, right? So it's kind of interesting, right? Like, I mean, that's how the Bulldog became synonymous to Mack. They actually started using the Bulldog logo in 1921 on their still very early, like, keeping in mind, again, I said, they're still using horses to draw artillery and stuff at this point. So these old Mack trucks, they're chain-driven, like, chain-driven trucks. The AB model was what it was called. Chain drive model of Mack trucks. And again, you see these, not this truck in particular, of course, but Mack, once again, Second World War, they're there. The trucks now are being used in all kinds of capacities. They're towing artillery, they're hauling supplies, what have you. But, I mean, what does it say here? 35,000 Mack trucks were delivered to the front line. And I mean, they were used by the U.S., Great Britain, France, and Canada. So, I mean, I thought that was the most interesting of all the information I found, that, these trucks were there on the front lines. And I mean, that's a testament to durability and reliability right there. For the military to be using them, on the front lines and in important roles, hauling up supplies and stuff, most of all. I mean, how happy would you see to see a Mack coming in, bringing you ammunition, food, supplies, Awesome. Very cool. That's all I'm going to say about that. I took down a bunch of information about these trucks, but it's all rather whatever. But the thing also to note is that Mack is much like Kenworth. They're like an all-American truck manufacturer, right? They started in America in like 1900, and they started by making buses and trolleys and stuff like that, much like Kenworth did, right? So again, just all American, but their involvement in the wars, I thought, was the most interesting thing, and that's what I really wanted to talk about when talking about Mack. Now, look at this. I'm already at the end of my run here. I had so much more I wanted to say. Okay, this is going to be tricky. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this trailer lined up in here. I doubt it. I think I might just go with the quick part option, which is totally cheaty, but I'm in a hurry here. I don't have a lot of time. Man, I had so much more to say. I wanted to tell you guys about how I've started training. I'm driving these for real. I'm learning right now. I'm at a trucking school. I thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about that, but we are out of time. I'm about to park this trailer. Oh, come on. You weren't going to give that to me, man? Oh, no. No. There's no way I'm going to reverse this straight. No matter how straight you are, the trailer seems to go all kinky and crooked on you. There's too many articulation points in these big trailers. This is just not. This isn't gonna happen. Oh, how embarrassing. Oh yeah. Okay, well, anyway, this video was way shorter than I expected. Man, I had so much more I wanted to say. Anyway, it's great to be back, guys. For those of you that watch my videos, you know who I am. You know I've been gone for a while. It's been a busy winter, man. It is finally spring and snow season's over. Being that I work in heavy equipment, I've been on call 24/7 for months. It's been awful. Anyway, let's just get this over with. Alright, well, there you have it. Real short run, the MACK Ultraliner by Cyrus the Virus. Very nice mod, very well done. I love it. Check it out. I'll leave a link in the description where you can download it. Catch you all later.